I have built another solar generator. I'll call it the Ultimate Plus. But before I show it to you, let me explain how and why I built this solar generator when I already have the Ultimate and Ultimate Junior. A few months ago, I was checking out YouTube videos to see if anyone had made a better hand carryable solar generator than the Ultimate. After almost 3 years, I still didn't see anyone that has. To qualify, it has to meet or exceed 5 factors. Number one, it needs to be able to power what a standard household plug can power, about 1800 watts, for at least 15 minutes. Number two, it has to have at least 1500 watt hours of usable energy, not rated at 1500 watt hours, but actually can discharge 1500 watt hours of usable energy. Goal Zero is the only company I know of that seems to be honest about their battery capacity. The battery can last at least 10 years with daily cycling. That's 3 or 4,000 cycles. The only lithium battery that can currently do that is lithium iron phosphate, or LFP. Although this may change the next couple of years, as Tesla will be coming out with a longer life battery next year. Interestingly, it's going to be an NMC type of battery, but not like the current NMC batteries that most companies use in their solar generators today. They use them because they are cheaper to buy and weigh a little less than LFP batteries. Many companies claim they can cycle their lithium NMC batteries 2,000 times, but you usually see a little asterisk and it says that's something like that's under ideal conditions. And nobody I know of ever uses a solar generator under ideal conditions. One company that claimed 2,000 cycles, I looked up the battery they were using in the manufacturer's spec sheet, and they had a graph of the battery, and it showed it was getting about 500 cycles, and yet the company claimed 2,000. So don't expect you'll ever get that many cycles out of an NMC type of battery. The only one that can is going to be the LFP batteries. Both batteries under the same conditions, the LFP will cycle about 3 times more than an NMC battery, which makes it considerably less expensive in the long run than an NMC type of battery. Number 4, the solar generator has to be hand carryable and must weigh less than 60 pounds, so an average person can carry it. And 5, it must be able to fully charge from empty to full in less than 4 hours. The Ultimate solar generator is the only system I know of that can meet or exceed all 5 requirements. I did see one YouTube video about a prototype portable solar generator that piqued my interest, called Titan by Point Zero Energy. No, it's not as good as the Ultimate because it weighs over 60 pounds and uses NMC batteries. It won't be able to daily cycle the 3 or 4,000 times necessary for 10 years of battery life. But it did have some features that piqued my interest. It has a built-in solar charger that has a max 2,000 watt charging ability. It has a built-in 120 volt AC charger of 60 amps or about 1,500 watts. It has built-in 40 amp transfer switch. It is actually capable of pushing solar and battery power back onto the grid. So if you have a net metering contract with your power company, you could lower your power bill. I liked how you could separate the batteries from the inverter. So even though it was too heavy to hand carry for your average person, people that can handle the extra weight can carry it like 2 suitcases. But the feature I was really interested in was if you had two of them, you could connect them together to get split phase 240 volt power. Back when I was designing the ultimate solar generator, the first critical load need I came up with was to supply power to my well pump. But it's a 240 volt pump. And there was no way I could build a hand carryable solar generator to power it. So I had to stick with a 120 volt system. A little while ago, I watched a video of their Titan production model, and it was a little disappointing. They changed the inverter. It can't do 240 volt split phase or sell back to the grid now. The utility charger isn't built in. It has an external brick charger with much less charging ability. They did increase the size of the inverter to 3,000 watts, but that's not a big deal to me. A good 2,000 watt inverter with a good surge ability can power any household appliance you'll want to power. I was interested in their prototype solar generator and did a little research. I think they were using a MPP solar inverter called MPP LV2424, a hybrid split phase inverter. The specs are almost identical to the Titan prototype. With the Ultimate and the Ultimate Junior, I have enough 120 volt backup power in case of long-term grid power failure. But I wouldn't be able to run my well pump at 240 volts. No 240 volt power, no water to the house. So I decided to fix that problem. MPP Solar is a company out of Taiwan and have been selling solar inverters for a number of years, mainly around the world, and only the last few years in North America with 120 volt 60 hertz systems. Their two split phase systems are fairly new and have only been available for the last year or two. The 5 kilowatt system is too heavy for what I wanted. The 2.4 kilowatt system has every feature I could have ever wanted and more in a compact 24-pound case. My main concern was the quality of MPP inverters. But with so many features for $650, which includes the parallel kit, I had to go for it. Amazon was sold out, so I emailed MPP Solar directly. Peggy emailed me back saying that they were out of stock, that I should contact their US dealer, so I did. What was amazing to me is not only was their US dealer in Utah, where I live, He was living in the same small town I was, living less than a mile away. He had just received a shipment, so I just popped over to his house and picked up what I needed. No shipping charges. I had to think outside the box for this design. This is what I came up with. And of course, I need two of them for 240-volt split phase power. I wanted it to still be hand carryable at 36 pounds for the inverter and over 40 pounds for the small battery. Your average person may not be able to carry it. My 13-year-old daughter said it was a little heavy for her, but my son had no problem carrying both inverters or one inverter and one small battery. I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't add any 12-24 volt connections. The Ultimate Junior has that covered. I just wanted it for the inverter and its ability to produce 240 volt split phase power for my well pump or other 240 volt applications if the need arises. I don't have sheet metal tools, so I used a military style 50 caliber metal ammo box to house the connections. The metal box adds weight, but I wanted it to be very sturdy, and I didn't think a plastic one would hold up. It's quite sturdy standing on end, but I also added rubber feet to the back so it could lay down flat. Besides the 120 volt outlets, it has an input connection you simply plug into a wall socket that can be used to power the loads, charge the batteries, or even send power back to the grid. There is a cable that connects to the other inverter, so both inverters can sync with each other for 240 volt split phase power. I can also connect the inverters in parallel to have almost 5,000 watts of power at 120 volts with two inverters. The inverter has a ton of adjustments you can use to set it up just the way you want it. You can use the cryptic display screen to make those adjustments, but it comes with software and you can run on your computer and connect it with a USB cable. It makes the adjustments much easier. It has log information and other things that make it easy to set up and use. The small, almost 2 kilowatt battery can power one inverter. It's not big enough to power both inverters at the same time. So I had to make a battery powerful enough to power both inverters. And MPP said that when you run both inverters in a 240 volt split phase configuration, both inverters need to be connected to the same battery. This battery is too heavy to be hand carryable, so I put it in a large rigid toolbox with wheels and a handle. The battery has 2,700 watt hours of actual tested usable energy. It can output over 5,000 watts continuous and can be charged at over 2,500 watts continuous. Both inverters can be connected to it at the same time. So how good of a system is this? Is it the best? No. The Solarc 8K is the best I know of, but it's a home system, not portable. Is it a good system? If you just consider the inverter, probably not. The Cotec inverter in the Ultimate is an excellent inverter for its type. The Ultimate solar generator has almost 3 years of daily cycling, over 1,000 cycles on the battery, and still going strong. I tested many of the Ultimate Plus features. The system does work. It does everything it says it will do, just not as good as hoped. For example, it uses about 48 watts just being powered on and not doing anything. The Cotec uses about 15 watts, unless I use its standby mode, which uses about 1 watt. The Ultimate Plus is only around 80 to 85% efficient, depending on what it's doing. The Cotec is about 93% efficient. The input and output power jump around a lot, which tells me it could use some battery or better capacitors and other electronic components to smooth out the flow. The real test will be to see how many years it will last running every day. If you consider everything the Ultimate Plus at less than $2,000 with the small battery, it's a great system. The Titan system seems to be an okay system, except for its NMC batteries and how expensive it is. Let's do a cost comparison on the two systems. To get the cost of each system a little closer, I will include both Ultimate Plus inverters. With both inverters, the Ultimate Plus cost about $2,800 with the large battery. The Titan with one small battery costs $3,000. But since it needs a second battery to take full use of its 3,000 watt inverter and to be able to charge at its maximum 2,000 watts, we'll need a second battery at $1,400. We aren't adding any solar panels, so we better add a second AC 600 watt charger to the Titan for $300. At $4,700, the Titan is almost $2,000 more than the Ultimate Plus. Let's compare the specs. The Titan has a 3,000 watt inverter. The Ultimate Plus has almost 5,000 watts. And the most important feature for me, the Ultimate Plus can be configured for 240 volt split phase power. The Titan can't. The Ultimate Plus has 2.7 kilowatt hours of usable energy. The Titan claims 2 kilowatts in each battery, but if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see their battery has less power than that. They also claim their battery has 74 amp hours of usable energy. If we believe that, then 74 times 3.6 volts, which is the nominal voltage, which is how you rate batteries, not their maximum voltage, because it doesn't stay at maximum voltage. It loses voltage as you use it, times a 7-cell system. That's 1,865 watt hours. Times 2, that's 3,730 watt hours in the Titan. So two Titan batteries have about 1 kilowatt hour more energy than the Ultimate Plus. If I was concerned about how much energy the Ultimate Plus had, I could spend another $1,000 and double its battery size to 5.4 kilowatt hours. Much more than the Titan has, and still $1,000 less expensive system with batteries that will last 3 times longer under the same conditions. The Titan with 2 batteries can only charge 2,000 watts max. Ultimate Plus claims it can charge up to 140 amps, about 3,500 watts, 60 amps or 1,500 watts with the AC charger, and up to 80 amps or 2,000 watts with the solar charger. And that's with just one inverter. We could double those figures with 2 on the Ultimate Plus. But with the 2.7 kilowatt hour battery, you don't want to charge it over about 2,500 watts anyway. The Titan can output 3,000 watts continuous, the Ultimate 5,000 watts with the single battery. The Titan, even with two AC chargers, can only charge at 1,200 watts, where the Ultimate Plus can do 1,500 watts with its built-in AC charger. The Ultimate Plus has other features that the Titan doesn't have, like being able to send power back to the grid. The Titan is probably more efficient than the Ultimate, but when you consider all the systems the Ultimate has running, I can live with that. The Ultimate Plus isn't the best hand-carryable solar generator. The Ultimate is that. But for the money and its features, I don't know of another system that can compete with it. All of the solar generators I have are too expensive to just have waiting for a long-term grid failure. So I use them every day to help power the house. I get over 6 kilowatt hours of energy from them daily to help supplement the main battery system. And because they are LFP batteries, they will last many years of daily use.